What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of the 5 Takeaways. We're going to take a look at the QPR game and see what 5 things we can take away from the game. And first up is a first for Bis.
Yeah, and Bissouma got on the score sheet for his very first time in a Tottenham show, albeit it was in a friendly, and Ange Postecoglou made him...
you let him know that, yeah. You let him know.
Because after the game, Ange Postecoglou saw Bissouma doing a post-match interview, and I think the interviewer asked him, what's it like scoring your first goal? And he said, just in a friendly, mate. It was just in a friendly. But really well taken goal, and hopefully it's not the last time we see him do that. And it was nice to see him getting in a forward position inside the box and actually take full advantage of that position, and something we've been critical of Bissouma of in the past, and it was a really well taken goal. And yeah, look, it was the first time he got on the score sheet, so let's hope it's the first of many more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see the smile on his face. You know, he's been suffering with a lack of confidence for a long time now, and hopefully if we can have Bissouma in this mood, because it wasn't just the goal, I think he bossed the whole first half, to be honest, and it was great to see him play like that, because we haven't seen it in quite a while. So if he can start the season well and not let the knocks really knock his confidence, then we've got a proper player on our hands. But let's just hope it keeps going on in that direction. Let's move on to number 2, and that is Decky Shines.
Yeah, and another really strong showing from Decky in the central area yet again. It's interesting, we haven't seen him actually on the wing so far in pre-season, just in the central area. And today he came on, replaced Bergvall after about half an hour, played in the number 10 position, and then second half played in the number 8 position when Maddison came off, so played in a few different positions and excelled in both of them, to be honest, creating numerous amount of chances, most notably one for Bissouma, who scored, the one for Werner, who obviously put him through 1-1 with a brilliant outside of the boot pass, and then he set up that chance for Mikey Moore in the second half as well, which Mikey Moore really should have buried with that one-on-one opportunity. And he seems to be really excelling in this central area at the moment, and he seems to really thrive off being close calls with opposition players and bouncing off them, using his physicality to get past players. And he's got that quality in the final third to create opportunities as well, and he's been showing it recently. Yeah,
I really hope that he just stays in the central role now. I've been banging on about it for ages. I don't think he's a right winger in this system, and he is playing, you know, both games now in the central areas, whether it be in the 8 or the 10. I think he's showing real quality in both games. This time he stepped it up a notch. He was laying on chances for his teammates time and time again throughout the game. And maybe if he carries on in this kind of form, we don't need another creative midfielder to come in, because we've got one sitting right there in Dejan Kulusevski. So good performance. Let's kick on from here now. Let's move on to number 3, and that is more provides.
Yeah, and
more provides more.
More provides more goal contributions. Really great assist right at the end of the game from Mikey Moore, topping off what has been a really good pre-season so far for him after the goal against Hearts. Late in the game, finds himself free on the left-hand side, a really beautiful outside of the boot ball across the face of goal, which Dane Scarlett put away. Really good moment for him, and again, Moore was a threat throughout that whole half. He had that opportunity which Decky laid on the plate for him, getting in a good position which he probably should have scored, but a few moments on the right hand side, he's taking players on, committing players, linking up with Spence again with some good passes down the line. So another really promising showing from Mikey Moore, and an assist to show for it.
Yeah, he looks at home at this level. He really does with his teammates. He's outperforming a lot of the attacking players that we have, and some of them are seasoned veterans, so it's unbelievable to see from Mikey Moore. So more of that, please, Mikey Moore. And it's not just these 3 games that he's got goal contributions in. I think he's got the stat is like 11 or 12 games in a row now, whether it be for the under-18s or England in the Euros, under-17s, I think it is, goal contributions in a row in every single game. So this guy is of real quality. We need to nurture him. We need to treat him right in terms of giving him the right minutes, and we need to show him that pathway and really involve him in the first team this year, because I think this guy is special. He really is special. But let's go on to number 4, and that is Gunter Impresses.
Yeah, and the young keeper who was been playing in the under-21s last season had an opportunity in the second half to start that half and really show what he's all about. And I thought he put in a stellar display against a QPR team who were putting us under pressure for a lot of that half, had many corners, pumping the ball into the box. He actually was able to claim many crosses, was able to compete with the very physical forwards of QPR really impressively. didn't drop anything. When he needed a punch, he punched. If he needed a catch, he caught. It was really impressive showing. And then obviously he got the headline save from Dykes as well, which he had to tip round the post. And for a young keeper like that to have such a commanding and confident display is really encouraging for the future.
Yeah, and I've been impressed with him every time I've seen him play for the under-21s. He's big, he's physical, he looks at a really good level. It's be interesting to see what Spurs do with him. Do we loan him out? Do we keep him around? It looks like we've got some really good keepers in our ranks. When you look at Josh Keeley, you look at Brandon Austin, who's performing really well at the moment, and now Luca Gunter as well. So, I mean, is there even a need for Fraser Forster in the squad anymore? I'm not sure.
How old is Gunter? 18 or is he 20?
I'm not sure how old Luca Gunter is. Luca Gunter. He's 19 years of age.
Actually, one other thing that was very impressive as well, actually, I didn't mention, was these throws out the back.
Oh, mate, really yeah, I know. Unbelievable. He could throw like to the other end of the pitch. It's literally, it's mad.
He wasn't scared to play out the back and play risky passes as well.
He's a confident boy. He really is a confident boy. And, you know, the physical presence of like Lyndon Dykes, who's a big physical championship striker, Scotland international, didn't faze him whatsoever. He was going up and he was a match for them as well.
I also think it's an example of the benefit you get when you're playing the same way throughout all the youth systems, and you got a keeper from the under-21s like Gunter playing in the same way, so when he slots into the first team, he's up to speed with what he needs to do.
I think the most thing I was impressed with him is how confident he was from claiming the crosses. Because like to do that at your age against, like I said, like against players like Lyndon Dykes and players that are like physical players from the Championship is very impressive at an age of 19. But let's move on to the fifth and final takeaway, and that is Alfie Delight.
Yeah, and he played the whole second half and came off the bench after being on the bench for the first half, and I thought did really well. Played in the number 6 position for the first about half an hour of the game, and I thought showed off a really nice range of passing. He showed some drilled passes, some nice curve passes, was always looking forward. Had a little spell back in the number 8 when Tyrese Hall came on and was played some nice little flicks and was linking up with Spence and Moore really well, and then moved back into the number 6 position. I thought showed some really good maturity and good composure as well. And off the back of a good showing against Hearts, be interesting to see what we do with Alfie Devine, because there's a lot of talk about all these different academy products like Lancashire and Moore and Hall and whatever. But, you know, don't forget a couple of years ago, not even a couple, sorry, 3 years ago, Devine scored on his debut as a 16-year-old
against Marine,
and everyone was going crazy about him. This is a guy with a lot of talent, a supreme amount of talent, and at Plymouth he did, decent, and maybe, he's ready for the next step.
Yeah, I think for me, what we should do with Alfie Devine is keep him with us for the tour, have him contribute in that way. But I'd like to see him go to like a team at the top end of the Championship and really, or maybe even the lower end of the Premier League, and really play week in, week out for a manager that really rates him, and see what he can produce on a consistent level. Because at Plymouth, he was in and out of the team and he wasn't as consistent as maybe we would have liked. So I think it's a big season for Alfie Devine now. And if he has a good season on loan now at a top Championship side or lower Premier League side, then he can come back to Tottenham and really stake a claim in the following year. But very impressive nonetheless from Alfie Devine today against QPR. But that is your 5 takeaways. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on our takeaways, and if you've taken away anything from this game, let us know yours in the comment section below. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on, you